Global press freedom threatened by United States President Donald Trump's media bashing and restrictions pursued by both democratic and authoritarian governments hits a 13-year low. A survey by US-based Freedom House highlights growing concerns over efforts by governments around the world to clamp down on media and dissent. It says, quote, political leaders and other partisan forces in many democracies, including the United States, Poland, the Philippines, and South Africa, attack the credibility of independent media and fact-based journalism, rejecting the traditional watchdog role of the press in free societies. In its 2016 study of 199 countries, the group says that just 13% of the world's population enjoys a free press. Another 42% of the world's population has a partly free press, and 45% live in countries where the media environment is not free. A police station chief is sacked from his post Friday after a Commission on Human Rights team finds a hidden lockup cell inside his precinct Thursday night in Tondo, Manila. The CHR, during a surprise inspection, finds about 12 men and women allegedly illegally detained in a narrow cell hidden behind a bookshelf in Manila Police Station 1. Station Commander Robert Domingo claims the detainees were locked up while their documents were still being processed. CHR Chairperson Chito Gascon says, quote, the maintenance of secret detention facilities are absolutely prohibited by the Constitution, as well as both anti-torture and anti-enforced disappearance laws. The CHR team wanted to free and take with them the detainees, but the police objected. Domingo says the blotters of the detainees had not been prepared because they were just arrested Wednesday in a one-time big-time operation. The detainees were reportedly arrested for drug offenses. Some detainees also claimed the cops demanded money, between 30,000 pesos to 100,000 pesos, from them in exchange for their release. They claim they had been kept for days with no charges filed against them. Domingo blames a two-day ASEAN Summit holiday in Manila for the police's failure to immediately file charges against the drug suspects. The cops claimed the drug suspects were arrested on Thursday. National Capital Region Police Chief Oscar Albayalde says, quote, they have 36 hours to file the case, so they can extend that because it's a holiday. One of the detainees also have bruises from being beaten up. He says the cops threatened to kill him if he didn't produce the money. Domingo denies the allegations. President Rodrigo Duterte vows to look into the secret jail cell. Sandiganbayan again denies former Senator Juan Ponce Enrile's motion to dismiss the 172 million peso plunder charge against him. Sandiganbayan's Special 3rd Division on Thursday says Enrile was not able to present a new argument that would merit the reversal of the earlier decision. This will again trigger the pre-trial proceedings halted by Enrile's many legal remedies. Enrile was charged nearly 3 years ago with former Senators Jinggoy Estrada and Bong Revilla. Revilla and Estrada's cases have been scheduled for trial, while Enrile's remains stuck at the pre-trial level. This is due to the legal maneuvers of his camp led by veteran litigator Estelito Mendoza, which reached the Supreme Court twice. The first involved asking for a bill of particulars, and the second sought the right to bail. In both petitions, Enrile's camp succeeded. Mendoza has also taken on Revilla as his client, so far managing 5 postponements of the former senator's trial schedule. Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak, during the Prosperity for All Summit Friday, says bringing prosperity to all sectors is more important now than ever due to the rise of extremism and populism. Najib says economic growth that is distributed among its citizens will deter the rise of radicalization.
We know that those who see no hope in their own societies are more prone to the siren calls of terrorists who can exploit their vulnerability and lure them with their lies and giving them a false sense of purpose and achievement.
Najib says this is a lesson the Association of Southeast Asian Nations can learn from the rest of the world. He said this is also why it is important that economic growth continues in the region.
Why is it that economic growth and the size of economies are so important? It is because only if you have a growing economy, then you can distribute prosperity. You can distribute wealth. We want this prosperity to be shared by all. Without economic success, we know nothing can be shared.
Since 2009, Najib has been the leader of Malaysia's ruling coalition, which in nearly 6 decades in power has overseen rapid economic growth, but its policies favor the Malay majority. Malaysia, like other Southeast Asian countries, has been battling its own war on terrorism, which includes groups like Al-Qaeda, Jemaah Islamiyah, and more recently, ISIS. Seoul on Friday brushes aside United States President Donald Trump's suggestion that it should pay for a $1 billion missile defense system that will be used to guard against threats from North Korea. The first parts of the Terminal High Altitude Area Defense or THAAD system have already been delivered to South Korea at a time of heightened tensions over Pyongyang's nuclear and missile programs. Top U.S. officials say THAAD will be operational within days. Trump earlier said, quote, "I informed South Korea it would be appropriate if they paid. It's a $1 billion system. It's phenomenal. Shoots missiles right out of the sky." But Seoul says that under its military agreement with the U.S., South Korea would provide the THAAD site and infrastructure while the U.S. would pay to deploy and operate it. The two countries have been in a security alliance since the 1950 to 1953 Korean War, and more than 28,000 American troops are stationed in South Korea.